Hello everyone. Today I'm going to discuss about values and vision. Our values in life and our vision in life. Doing the right things for the right person, a right time, a right reason. The seven deadly sins according to Mahatma Gandhi are wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, business without morality or ethics, science without humanity, religion without sacrifice, and politics without principle. How does our value system change if so? With constant exposure, what is intolerable becomes acceptable and translate into involvement. And all through the transition process, justification keeps taking place. Times are changing. We talk of the younger generations. Where will they end? What about their value system? Before we point a finger at them, let's evaluate who is to blame. We ought to remember that values and virtues are not hereditary, they are learned. We need to get our priorities right. Money is not the payoff for every kind of work. Parents bring up the children with no paycheck in mind. Many people have lots of money, but they are very poor. Our objective ought to be both to have money and be rich. When money talks, it does not always talk sense and truth, remains silent. The most unfortunate part of life is when people plan to get money without owning it. It is easier to make money and harder to keep it. The best and the most beautiful thing in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. Hard work teaches a person the value of money. That is why it is important that parents teach their children this lesson. We feel sorry for the younger generation who inherits money without value, without lessons and guidance. They often equate everything with money. They think everything can be bought and sold. Of course, this is not true. People who have values have no price tag and neither do they value themselves. The most precious things in life money cannot buy. It is not uncommon to hear that everyone has a price. People who talk that language are really of for sale themselves. People with character, integrity, and the right values are not for sale. Money will buy amusements but not happiness. Money can buy a bed but not sleep. Money can buy books but not wisdom. Money can buy a clock but not more time. Companions can be bought with the money but not friends. Money can buy finery but not beauty. Money can buy good food, tasty foods but not appetite. Money can buy a house but not a home. Money can buy medicine but not wealth. Money can buy ring but not marriage. When our value system is not clear, getting what we want can be a bigger tragedy. The story of King Midas says it all. Let's discuss about the story of King Midas. The story goes like this. We all know the story of the greedy king named Midas. He had a lot of gold, and the more he had, the more he wanted. He stored all the gold in his vaults and used to spend time every day counting it. One day, while he was counting, a stranger came from nowhere and said he would grant him a wish. The king was delighted and said, I would like everything I tossed to turn to gold. The stranger asked the king, Are you sure? The king replied, Yes. So the stranger said, Starting tomorrow morning with the sun rays, you'll get the golden touch. The king thought, He must be dreaming. This could not be true. But the next day, when he woke up, he tossed the bed, his, his clothes, and everything turned to gold. He looked out of the window and saw his daughter playing in the garden. He decided to give her a surprise and thought she would be happy. But before he went to the garden, he decided to read a book. The moment he tossed it, it turned into gold, and he could not read it. Then he sat to have breakfast, and the moment he tossed the fruit and the glass of water, they turned to gold. He was getting hungry, and he said to himself, I cannot eat and drink gold. Just about that time, his daughter came running, and he hugged her, and she turned into a gold statue. There were no more smiles left. The king bowed his head and started crying. The stranger who gave the wish came again and asked the king if she was happy with his golden touch. The king said he was the most miserable man. The stranger asked, what would you rather have, your food and loving daughter, or lumps of gold and her golden statue? The king cried and asked for happiness and for forgiveness. He said, I'll give up all my gold. Please give me my daughter back, because without her I have lost everything worth having. The stranger said to the king, you have become wiser than before. And he reversed the spell. He got his daughter back in his arm, and the king learned a lesson that he never forgot for the rest of his life. So, the moral of this story is our value system. What we need to value in life, that is more important. How would you like to be remembered in life? With your good deeds, with your kind deeds. Let me give you one example or such a story. About 100 years ago, a man looked at the morning newspaper. To his surprise and horror, read his name in the obituary column. The newspapers had reported the death of the wrong person by mistake. His first response was shock. Am I here or there? When he regained his composure, his second thought was to find out what people had said about him. The obituary read, Dynamite's king dies, and also he was the merchant of death. This man was the inventor of dynamites, and when he read the words merchants of death, he asked himself a question. Is this how I'm going to be remembered? He got in touch with his feelings and decided that this was not the way he wanted to be remembered. From that day on, he started working towards peace. His name was Alfred Nobel, and he is remembered today by the Great Nobel Prize. Just as Alfred Nobel got in touch with his feelings and redefined his value, we should step back and do the same. What is your legacy? How would you like to be remembered? Will you be spoken well of? Will you be remembered with love and respect? Will you be missed? So, our values, our priorities, they make us remembered, or they keep us alive even after our death. So, our value system is very important in our life and even after our death. So, prioritize value, what you put on. Thank you. Have a good day.